there's a certain amount of humility and perspective that goes into it. Them two things, humility and perspective. Perspective is how you see it. Perspective, to see, per, it's kind of like look at it the right way first, right? And humility causes you to do right about it because you see it a certain kind of way. Perspective, right? So um there's a lot of pressure for preachers, period. Like especially young preachers. Because why? And it's like everything else. You go on a team, your job is to perform. You want to add to the team. You know what I mean? You want to score the touchdown. You want to catch the pass, right? And because you associate success with performance, right? And so with that mindset, you go hard no matter what it takes because people watching you. And by God, I'm gonna have a great church. It's gonna be a good church, and we're gonna have great ministry, right? We're gonna do good, right? Because people watching us. That's performance, right? And sometimes performance is disconnected from purpose. That might not be your purpose to perform like that. But sometimes we conflate performance with purpose. So the humility for preachers is that you have to be humble enough to listen to somebody like a coach, right? A coach. Because like a lot of the things that I learned the hard way. School of hard knocks, right? And I always say to people, you can go to school two ways. You can go on the grant or you can go on the tuition. You get the same education, one you get for free, another one you pay for, by experience, right? So the grant experience comes from other preachers who've been there, done that. Say, hey, man, here go the game right here. Don't do that. Don't neglect your family. Don't do that. I learned that hard way. Ain't have nobody there to walk me through it. There's other thing too. There's the pride aspect of it. The pride aspect of it is that, I got it. I know what I'm doing. I can handle this. No, you can't, right? And you got to be humble enough to know that you don't have it. And like the young folks say, don't got it. And you got to learn how to get it, be humble enough to get it from somebody else, right? So some of the things that we get caught up in is looking at other people saying, hey, I'm gonna be just like that. And you don't know what it took for that person to be there. That's behind the veil. And you running out there to try to become something that maybe God never intended for you, right? That's a fallacy. And that's a big mistake, right? And you're going to come back to the starting line too if you don't do it right the first time, right? It's like start over, start. So you never get down the line like you want to, even though you've been on the road for a long time. You was on your way to Orlando and you ain't get past West Palm Beach. You've been on the road a long time, but you never made the distance. Understand what I'm saying? So here's what I would tell preachers, older and younger preachers. It's a slow roll, right? And the perceived success of a minister, some of it is just illusion, right? It don't look as good as it is. It may not be as bad as it is, but it ain't as good as it look either, right? Don't get caught up, right? And not only that, but also in terms of ministry, here's my mistake. You cannot put the church before your family. Mistake. Setback. And let me tell you, we grew Boca del Rey to 130. We grew Boca del Rey to 131 year. We started with 20.
I thought it was 40.
We started with 20, 40? Might have been 40. People came back to the church. So we grew the church to 130. We had baptisms, crazy baptism. Church booming, right? Booming, right? But here's the problem. You get to my house, it don't look nothing like church. Nothing like church. Sad place at home, rejoicing at the church, right? Out of order, right? because I failed to lay the foundation at home first, so that we can go ahead and have real success at church. So now I got to reverse out of church. I had to leave a church of 130 members, and most of them I baptized, right? All because the foundation wasn't right. Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that do build it. You see? And that was my mistake. Learned that the hard way. And I would tell young preachers, man, get that house right first. Sink at home. Get a firm foundation. I advise people, if you ain't in ministry yet, don't go into ministry until you get marriage right. Ministry will tear up your marriage if you ain't solid.
You said it will tear up. Did you say tear up? It was a glitch.
Ministry would tear up marriage if marriage ain't solid, right? There's a reason, Fred, in the scripture, book of Deuteronomy, I think it's 32, 34, one of them, Marshall keep reading, where men could not go to war, they could not go on trips, they could not be in the military, they couldn't do none of those things for 1 year. So when Jesus come along, he says, call men to the banquet, and one guy said, I just got married, I can't come. That was the real thing. They didn't allow people who just got married to get out here in these streets. You can't do it. You had to go home, firm your foundation, sync with your wife, get your family together, get your firm foundation. Now you ready to go do something else. So we was doing something else and didn't have the proper foundation. So what happened? Everything that we was building on top of that foundation, the foundation cracked.
Yeah.
And what did Jesus say about them foundation? What's that? Matthew chapter number 7, right? He's saying to mine.
That's right.
Do them not like a man that built his house on sand, right? Floods, the stuff gonna happen. Floods, condescend, floods came, winds blew, rains descended, beat upon the house, right?
Yeah.
All directions, right? Floods come up, winds blow from side to side, and rains come down. Every marriage is tested from all sides. You gotta handle flood, you got to handle wind, you got to handle rain, right? And if you can't handle them three things, you ain't got no business out there, right? And except you got that foundation right, you shouldn't even be doing ministry, because ministry will rip your marriage apart. We had a do or die situation. It was do or die, right? And so it was due for us, not die, because marriage ended up being important enough for us to leave the church right where it was. In love now. And let's go fix us. And then we'll come to church and see if we can do church better the next time.
Wow.
That's big.
That's huge.
That's big.
That is huge. That is huge. Oh my gosh. This is so good.